On this sheet of paper in front of me, there are 11 questions I strongly recommend you prepare for before your job interview. Did you know the average number of questions asked during every job interview is 11? These 11 questions will likely come up at your job interview. I will tell you exactly what those 11 questions are, plus give you brilliant top scoring answers to ensure you get hired. My name is Richard McMahon. I have been a hiring manager and recruitment expert for more than 30 years, and I am here to help you. I want you to quickly do two things. Number one, hit the like button because that motivates me to create more great content for you, and tell me the name of the job role you are applying for in the comment section below the video so I can give you some extra tips. Okay, let's start working through those 11 questions that will come up at your job interview, my tips and top scoring answers. Please take notes. Interview question number one is going to be either tell me about yourself or please introduce yourself. Make sure you keep your answer professional, approximately 60 seconds long, and talk about these four things: the skills you have that match the job description, your experience, or if this is your first job role, your educational background, achievements you have attained in your life so far, and the type of person you are and what you will do in the role to have a positive impact. Those four things stand for SEAT: skills, experience, achievements, and the type of person you are. You can easily remember my SEAT structure for tell me about yourself and introduce yourself, because you will be sitting down on a seat at your job interview. Here is the perfect answer for you to write down and practice.
Tell me about yourself. Here we go. Thank you for this opportunity. My skills are a great match for the job description. I am disciplined, responsive, and accountable. My experience working on teams, problem solving, and delivering excellent customer service means I am ready-made for the role. I have a track record of achievement. In my last job, I received praise for my strong work ethic and for how I helped to train new team members. If you hire me, I will be the type of person who takes responsibility for my professional development and ensures you receive a strong return on my salary. Thank you for listening. You can see how effective my SEAT structure is for answering the question, tell me about yourself.
That was a brilliant introduction that will help you get hired. Interview question number two is, why do you want this job? Remember this: it takes a lot of time, effort, and resources to hire someone for a job role, so the hiring manager wants someone who will stay working in the role for a long period of time. Make sure you give genuine and valid reasons why you want the job. Do not say you want the job because of the salary or because it's close to where you live. Here is the best answer you can give in any interview.
Why do you want this job? I want this job because I am very passionate about the role and I want to build a successful career in this industry. I also want this job because it is with your company. You have a great reputation in this industry for innovation and for supporting your staff so they can reach their full potential.
Interview question number three has to be answered in a specific way. The question is, why do you want to work for us? Now, the number one reason why the hiring manager is asking you this question is because they want to find out whether you have researched their company. 90% of candidates just want a job and they don't care which company they work for. Don't let that be you. Make sure you research the company and give, again, genuine and valid reasons why you want to work there. Here is the perfect scripted answer for you to use.
Why do you want to work for us? I want to work for you because my research tells me that your values align with my personal and professional standards. Respect, teamwork, accountability, and diversity are values that are important to me. I also want to work for you because the people I have spoken to who already work here have said great things about the culture, training, and senior management team. That is a brilliant answer.
Interview question number 4 sounds very difficult to answer, but there is a trick for giving the perfect response. The question is, what are your greatest strengths? I strongly recommend you quickly read the job description or the job advert before your interview, because it will tell you the strengths the employer is looking for from the ideal candidate. And all you have to do is match your strengths with those featured on the job description. Here is the best answer you can give. These strengths will impress every interviewer.
What are your greatest strengths? I read the job description before applying, and I am pleased to say that my strengths align with the role. I am a good multitasker, a confident communicator, can be left alone to organise my work against my employer's priorities, and I am a proactive problem solver. For example, in my last role, the company website crashed late on a Friday afternoon. I took it upon myself to investigate the cause despite having no technical experience. Using online forums and artificial intelligence, I quickly established that the website's server needed updating. After my manager permitted me to pay for the upgrade, the website started working again. That is a brilliant answer because you are giving a specific example of when one of your strengths is in action.
Interview question number 5 of our 11 questions is, what is your biggest weakness? Do not fall into the trap of saying, I don't have any weaknesses, or my biggest weakness is I am a perfectionist. You would be surprised at how many people say they are a perfectionist at their job interviews. None of us are perfectionists because we all have weaknesses. So here is a brilliant weakness you can give that will impress. And by the way, make sure you tell the interviewer what you are doing or have been doing to improve on that weakness. Here we go.
What is your biggest weakness? Here we go. My biggest weakness is that I am not yet fully confident in giving talks or presentations to large groups of people. However, this is a skill I'd like to develop. Therefore, if the opportunity exists in this role to give talks to the team on important company-related subjects, I will be the first to volunteer.
Next question, question number 6, is called a behavioural interview question. Tell me about a time you worked under pressure. There is only one reason why the interviewer is asking you this question. It's because you will be required to work under pressure during the job role. I recommend you use the STAR method to structure your answer: situation, task, action, and result. If you have never had to work under pressure before, make sure you tell the interviewer what you would do to work under pressure successfully. So I will give you 2 example answers to this question, one for experienced candidates and the other for those of you who have never yet had to work under pressure. Here we go.
Tell me about a time you worked under pressure. This first answer is for experienced candidates. In my last job, my manager asked for a volunteer to cover a co-worker's duties while they were off sick. I volunteered as I saw this as an opportunity to learn new skills and also help the company in its time of need. My task was to complete both my work and my co-worker's duties concurrently. I collated a list of my combined tasks and assessed which needed urgent attention. For the tasks I was unfamiliar with, I studied company operating procedures and online tutorials. Once I felt sufficiently competent to complete all tasks, I blocked out distractions and set to work, keeping a close eye on my deadlines. Throughout the day, I kept my manager informed of my progress. By working methodically and prioritizing tasks accordingly, I successfully completed the work of 2 people and learned new skills in the process. So that is a brilliant STAR method example answer for that question that is relevant for experienced candidates. Let me now give you my second answer, which is for those of you with no previous work experience. Tell me about a time you worked under pressure. Although I have not yet been in a situation where I have had to work under pressure, I do know what I would do in this situation. First, I would remain calm and assess my responsibilities. I would create a list of my tasks and duties and color code them based on urgency. Red tasks would need immediate attention, blue tasks would be completed second, and green tasks could either be delegated, eliminated, or tackled later. By remaining calm, focused on my team's goals, and also blocking out distractions, I am confident I could deliver results under pressure. So that is a really good answer if you have no previous work experience. Let me give you another example answer that gives a situation of someone who worked under pressure during their academic studies. Here we go. During my studies, I worked on a class project that required 5 other students and me to create a presentation on a specific subject provided by the teacher. Our task was to use each other's strengths to create the content and the presentation within a strict timescale. Unfortunately, partway through the project, 2 students in our group fell ill. Because we were determined to meet the project deadline, we called a meeting, discussed the remaining tasks, and allocated them based on our broad skills. I volunteered to create visuals for the presentation. I used artificial intelligence to create the visuals as I was skilled at writing AI prompts. To ensure I met the deadline, I determined how many visuals I needed, and I used multiple open tabs in ChatGPT to create them concurrently. By working collaboratively and using each other's strengths, we completed the presentation on time despite being 2 people short.
Interview question number 7 is another behavioral interview question. Don't forget to use the STAR method: situation, task, action, and result. The question is, tell me about a time you dealt with a difficult person. Be very careful how you answer this question. The interviewer wants to hear you say you acted maturely and professionally and you found a solution that empowered you to work collaboratively with that difficult person. Now, you can give an example situation of where you dealt with a customer or client, a co-worker, or even a friend, but make sure you deal with them positively, maturely, calmly, and professionally. Here we go.
Tell me about a time you dealt with a difficult person. In my last job, I overheard a senior co-worker making fun of a new team member. My task was to challenge their behaviour calmly and professionally. I spoke out and said that I wasn't happy with their comments. I stated that not only did they go against company policy, but it was unfair to make fun of someone whom we should be supporting. He was unhappy with my intervention and told me to mind my own business. I suggested we take the conversation away from the rest of the group so that we could discuss it amicably. We left the group and moved to a quiet private meeting room to discuss the situation. I explained that it wasn't fair to make fun of anyone on the team, and even if they might have given the impression they were fine with the comments, their words set an example for others. After listening to my reasoned argument, he agreed that the comments were unacceptable and he promised not to behave in that way again. That is a brilliant answer because it shows you can find a successful solution when dealing with a difficult person.
Interview question number 8 again needs a very careful answer. Why do you want to leave your current job? Do not say anything negative about current or previous employers, co-workers or managers. If you are negative or disrespectful, the interviewer will think it's you who has the problem. Make sure you are respectful and professional. Now, the answer that follows is one I strongly recommend you consider using at your job interview. Here it is.
Why do you want to leave your current job? I want to leave my current job for one genuine reason, because I'm ready for a new challenge in a role where my skills will be fully utilised. I want to work for a company that is ambitious and innovative and where I can work on challenging tasks and projects that make a real difference. I have enjoyed working for my employer, and while I will leave on good terms, I am looking forward to the next stage of my career.
Interview question number 9 needs a confident answer. Do not be afraid to sell yourself in your answer. Why should we hire you? Now, I recommend you use my 4-step FIRE acronym. Write down the word FIRE and use this when answering the question, why should we hire you? F stands for fit. Tell them they should hire you because you are a great fit for the job role and the job description. I stands for immediate impact. Say they should hire you because you will have an immediate impact in the role. R stands for results driven. Tell the interviewer they should hire you because you are results driven. You always focus on achieving great results in your work. And E of our FIRE acronym stands for exceed expectations. Finish your answer by telling them what you will do to exceed expectations in the role. Here is my brilliant FIRE acronym structured answer to this difficult question.
Why should we hire you? Here we go. You should hire me because I am a strong fit for the role. This means I have the skills and knowledge to have an immediate impact while needing minimal supervision. You should also hire me because I am results driven. I always focus on delivering tangible results for my employer. For example, in my last job, I recommended the company implement an AI customer service chatbot on its website to improve response times and increase sales. Finally, you should hire me because I will strive to exceed expectations in the role. I will ensure you receive a strong return on my salary by bringing creative ideas to the team and completing duties outside the scope of my job description. You can see how effective the answer is when you use my FIRE structure: fit, impact, results driven, and exceed expectations.
Interview question number 10. What are your salary expectations? Make sure you research the salary range for your job role and industry before going to the interview. You can find out that information on websites such as glassdoor.com. Make sure you know the going rate for your role and industry before the interview. Now, when answering this difficult question, use my rule structure, RULE. R stands for research. Tell the interviewer you have researched the salary range for the role and industry. This tells them you are prepared. U stands for understanding. Tell them what your understanding is of the salary range. L stands for like. Tell them the exact salary you would like in the position. And E stands for exceed expectations. Tell them exactly what you will do to exceed expectations in the role for the salary you would like. Here is my brilliant rule structure answer to help you get hired.
What are your salary expectations? Here we go. I researched the salary range for this role and industry before the interview. My understanding is that the range is between $55,000 and $66,000. The salary I would like is $64,000 and also the opportunity to have it reviewed annually based on my contribution to the team. For a salary of $64,000, I will exceed expectations by supporting the company in new initiatives, helping to train new team members, and also looking for ways to make company systems and processes more efficient in order to save money. Again, you can see how effective my rule structure is: research, understanding, like, and exceed expectations.
Now, before I tell you interview question number 11 and teach you how to answer it, if you would like me, Richard McMahon, to write bespoke and unique tailored answers for you based on the job role, your CV or resume and the company, then make sure you check out that link in the top right hand corner of the video and go through to my website, passmyinterview.com. This service comes with a full money back guarantee. That means if you use my recommended answers and you don't get offered the job, I will refund your payment. This service comes with a full risk-free guarantee. Make sure you check it out. Okay, here is interview question number 11. Do you have any questions for us? Do not fall into the trap of saying, no, I don't have any questions, because you covered everything in the interview. This is your chance to further demonstrate to the interviewer that you are the right person for the job. Also, do not ask stupid questions such as, I have a holiday coming up soon. If I get the job, can I have time off for it? No, do not ask questions like that. Instead, I recommend you ask the following 3 questions that I will now put up on the screen. Here we go.
Do you have any questions for us? Thank you. I have 3 questions, please. What advice would you give to someone in this role who wants to have a meaningful impact? My second question is, what are the biggest challenges the team is currently facing? And what could I do in this position to help overcome them? And finally, is there any additional information I can read to learn more about the company while I wait to hear the result of my interview? Those are 3 brilliant questions.
Let me ask you a very quick question. Would you like me to now write your answers for you based on the job role, the company, and your CV or resume? If the answer is yes, click that link and go straight through to my website, passmyinterview.com. I will write your answers for you, and if you use them at your job interview and you don't get offered the job, I will refund your payment. Make sure you hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe and connect with me on LinkedIn. I have put my LinkedIn link in the description below the video. It is always an absolute honor and a pleasure to connect with like-minded professionals such as yourself. Thank you for watching, and I wish you the very best for getting hired. Have a great day.